The Soybean School on RealAgriculture.com is brought to you by Pride Seeds, Cruiser Max Vibrance Beans, and High Stick NT.
So to help everyone make a decision as to whether they need to spray or not, I suggest you use the Aphid Advisor app that we have developed, Rebecca Hallett at the University of Guelph and myself, as well as grad student Tracey Baute. It's free. It's from aphidapp.com, and it will help you to determine if you have too many aphids or enough natural enemies that you don't need to actually spray. So once you have the Aphid app downloaded onto your smartphone, whether it's a BlackBerry or an iPhone, enable your GPS coordinates and then go into the app. And once you click on Assess a Field, you will get a screen. Again, this only works for R1 to R5 stage soybeans when we have a threshold established. It also will ask you where your location is. You can decide if you want to manually input your location or refuse to put it in. But once you're there, it goes to the screen to tell you that this app best works when we know that the aphids, their optimal temperatures that they develop, which is 16.9 degrees Celsius minimum and 27 degrees 0.5 Celsius. We know that above that temperature, it's actually starting to be detrimental to the aphids. Of course, it's got to be within the canopy, so the canopy rarely gets the 30-degree weather that we have normally. Then you start to scout, and we want you to assess at least 10 random soybean plants in your field and determine the number of aphids that you have on those plants, and at least put about 5 meters separation between your plants that you're assessing. Each time you click on Add a Plant and input the number of soybean aphids that you have, and continue to do that for the next 10 plants that you're assessing. We then want you to look at the natural enemies, and this will help you identify what we're talking about. You can actually click on the photo that's to the left or to the right of the titles of the natural enemies, so you can see a better shot of what we're looking at, and determine the number of natural enemies that you have seen on those 10 plants. In particular, some of the big ones are ladybugs that are most obvious, but you may also come across mummies. Once you've inputted the range of natural enemies, 1 to 9 minute pirate bugs or 5 lady beetles, the Aphid app will do its calculations and determine if you have enough natural enemies that you don't have to spray, or if there are not enough natural enemies that you do have to spray. Or another decision might be that it will tell you to wait a few days and go back and scout again to see what the natural enemies are doing. It's basically saying that there's maybe enough natural enemies, but it's not entirely sure. Let's see what the natural enemies versus aphids do in the next few days before you spray and kill everything. So there are the 3 outputs that you may get. One important feature that we want everyone to consider doing is submit this data to the study. It's a screen that comes up after you get your results. That will then allow for a summary of all the different counties and the number of fields that are showing not to spray or to wait or to spray. So then people can look and identify their county and see if there are any hot spots that are popping up, and they too can go out and look and see if they have to spray. There will also be a map on the aphidapp.com website that is also indicating hotspot areas that will advise growers and reps to get out and scout and determine if they too have to spray.